Well, that was a quick show, wasn't it? Excuse me. My technical error there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So today I wanted to look at this incident. I'm sure most, if not all of you, are aware of it. When this first came out, they only showed like a picture that you see on the cover of the video of the man with his arm out. And then you just saw pictures of her sitting there looking scared, but that was it. And it was very confusing because I didn't see any blood. It didn't look like he had done anything. I mean, even though he did, but bottom line is the whole thing looks suspicious to me, like it was a psyop or something. But it turns out the real video, I got this from Officer Tatum's channel, YouTube. So this is already up on YouTube. And it shows the full video of how fast this happened, how inexplicable. And I want to look into this a little bit because what I want to know is, did the vaxes cause this? Did the vaxes lead to this? And I ask that because it was predicted already years, I don't know how long it's been, maybe a year or two already, from spiritual people like Sarah Israel. She predicted this from her interviews with the vaccinated whistleblowers who've come out about the hive mind and their other experiences after being jabbed. And she predicted that this was going to happen, that there would be more and more knife attacks, and that they would be especially, just unexpected, inexplicable violence for no apparent reason. And you're going to see more and more of it. Now, that's from her Christian perspective. And also at the same time, I'm also hearing from the scientists that the vaccines cause psychosis. This is documented, scientific articles I will show you. So I'm hearing it from both sides, science and spirituality. They're both saying the same thing, that these shots are doing something. And this man who murdered this poor girl is saying that he was basically possessed when it happened. He said, I didn't do this. Why would I kill someone I don't know? So it's all sort of coalescing together, and it's something to be very concerned about, especially if you're not jibby jabbed, because they're coming for you. I got to tell you. So that's what I'm understanding I'm coming under here. So, but first, I am going to play this full video for the record. If you cannot watch it, turn away right now, because I will start playing it. There's no volume, it's quiet, but it is horrifying and disturbing. But here we go. I want to show it to show that this is a full video of what really happened here. So as you can see, it was very fast. It was shocking. And the poor girl didn't see it coming. Of course, she was looking at her phone. I think probably nowadays and going forward is no one can afford to be looking at their cell phones when they're out in public, particularly public transportation and whatnot, or anywhere really. But yeah, not that probably would not have helped her anyways, because he did sneak up from behind, so she wouldn't have seen that coming. But anyways, yeah, it makes no sense. And everybody, people. Now, another shocking thing about this is that this incident happened about 2 weeks ago, and no one in the mainstream media reported on it. And even Elon Musk retweeted this next tweet that got 66.3 million views. And he posted this on September 6th. And he wrote, look, this horrific stabbing on camera. Had 0 stories in AP, 0 PBS stories, 0 New York Times stories, 0 NPR, Wall Street Journal, 0 stories, but the Wall Street Journal interviews Meghan Markle. 0 BBC stories, 0 CNN stories, 0 Washington Post stories, 0 Reuters stories, and 0 MSNBC. So none of them for days or weeks, even because this was 2 weeks ago, none of them reported on this. They refused to report on that. They wanted to just go away. They were just going to keep focusing on Trump and whatever else they were going to focus on. And as Officer Tatum pointed out in his video, when a white man tried to stop a black man from committing a crime on a subway, they wanted to put him in prison for that, for protecting. And of course, he wasn't the only one. It was multiple people. But they really demonize you if you try to stop a violent offender from attacking people. And yet here you have clear-cut case of unprovoked attack. And the mainstream media did not want to report on it at all. And this is not, of course, not the first time. There are multiple other cases of this, like the woman in Ohio who was knocked unconscious by a gang. I mean, it happens. The mainstream media, in my opinion, not even my opinion, it's what's happening, is they want to inflame race relations. So what they do is they only cover when there's an example of a criminal act by a white person on a black person. But when it's a black person on a white person, they ignore it like it doesn't exist. And this is the globalist DEI that Larry Fink pushes, and the globalist Marxist DEI that Larry Fink and BlackRock and the Bank of International Settlements and all the top globalists there, they push the idea that only white people can be racist. I mean, it's total mind effery insanity. And but that's what I believe is their thinking behind this. But because there was such an uproar, and even Elon Musk retweeted this, finally, 2 weeks later, the mainstream media decides to talk about it a little bit. But of course, they sympathize with the murderer and say, well, he's mentally ill. He's a victim too, right? And Officer Tatum goes into that with his video. So this is Sarah Israel's Substack, where she back in March, she was talking about all the strange murders that have been happening and how it's getting worse and worse as a result of the injections. Another example of a completely senseless stabbing was in July, this past July. There were a couple. The woman that killed her manager at a McDonald's, and because she didn't like what the manager was telling her to do. So a 26-year-old girl just stabbed her manager to death because she didn't like what she was telling her what to do. Yeah, that's one. And then there was this story, another horrific story from July of an Australian woman who stabbed her 2 children to death because she thought they were aliens. So, I mean, it didn't happen in July. This is an article from July. Happened earlier. But we're seeing more and more of this type of senseless murder. I think this murder happened like a year or 2 ago, soon after the rollouts in 2022, I believe, is what it says here. I wasn't really following it at the time. But if you pay attention to this, it appears that they're getting worse with the knife crimes. It's getting worse and worse. And the court heard that she had been experiencing episode of psychosis. Okay. So now, like I said, from Sarah Israel, from her Christian perspective, this is part of the jab connecting people to AI, which she sees as the enemy of God, as a demonic spirit there. And then you have the scientists coming out. I'll get to that in a second. That's the recent knife attack. There are multiple scientific papers if you search for psychosis and the COVID-19 vaccine, like this one that came out in 2024, new onset psychosis following COVID-19 vaccination. So psychosis can cause senseless violence and psychosis is documented in scientific papers on PubMed here and other scientific journals. They are saying that the vaccines do this. So whether you look at it scientifically or spiritually, it looks like it could be the real blame. Now, this article just came out about the most recent knife attack that you just watched of the young Ukrainian girl who was murdered on for no reason on the bus. The knife man was talking to his sister, and the reporters here were able. Don't you love how they can do investigative journalism when it's not about Harry and Meghan? When it's just about an ordinary citizen, they can just do all this research and talk to the family and get the real story. But when it's about Harry and Meghan, the journalists don't have any research abilities. I mean, it's just, because this is like they're finding out right away here now that it's come out in the mainstream media, which again took 2 weeks because they wanted the story to pass and they didn't want to cover it. They wanted to. So this is why another reason to make a video about this, to remind you that this and other stories, there are plenty of other stories that have not been covered by the mainstream media. They refuse to cover it. And I'm sure they'll do it again in the future. And the only way to get them to cover this is to, tweet on social media or post and say, hey, look, this, zero stories in all of these mainstream media outlets, and keep exposing them. Because these mainstream media outlets are what Jacinda Ardern and the other globalists like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they want those mainstream media sources. This is who Harry and Meghan want to be your only source of truth here. Harry and Meghan and all the rest of them, they only want you to get your news from these people, and they're training young people to only listen to mainstream media. Right? I mean, again and again, we know it's about controlling the information, controlling. So if it were up to Harry and Meghan, no one would ever have found out about this senseless act of violence. Now, if it had been a white man and a black girl, it would have been, all over the media 24/7. And for years and months, there'd be riots and murders like George Floyd. But anyways, where's the story? Okay, so this is about the man. So this is the man the knife man, they're calling him Knife Man. His name is DeCarlos Brown. So the surveillance footage captured him murdering Irina Zarutska. So the disturbing video sparked widespread grief, anger, and questions about public safety. Now his sister, Tracy Brown, shared a shocking audio with the Daily Mail that after a conversation she had with her brother after he was arrested, and he explained what was going through his mind when he launched the bloody attack. The 34-year-old schizophrenic can be heard telling his sister that he believed the government had planted foreign materials into his brain, and they had been in control of his actions when he pulled the knife on Irina. In the audio recording from the afternoon on August 28th, so he was arrested around August 28th, again, on 2 weeks ago. Well, I mean, after the event. Brown can be heard telling Tracy, I hurt my hand stabbing her. I don't even know the lady. I never said not one word to the lady at all. That's scary, ain't it? Why would somebody stab somebody for no reason? So even he's saying, this doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I did this. He said he added he wanted the police to investigate the materials on which they were controlling him, while referring to the attacker in the third person. All right, so, there's two ways you can look at this, or maybe more, but you can look at it as, yes, he's completely incompetent, mentally ill, doesn't know what he's doing. Or if he's saying that there's things in his brain that the government put there, well, many people point out the injections have nanotechnology in them and other things. And they said again and again, the lipid nanoparticles cross the blood-brain barrier. So whether it's graphene or it's the graphene and nanotechnology, they have not been, honest about at all. And But it has appears that they are trying to connect people to Internet of Bodies onto the internet. This is what the vaccine whistleblowers have been telling Sarah Israel and confirming the hive mind. So, and he's saying it here. They put something, the government's put something in my brain and controls him, or the AI controlled him, however you want to look at it. Say the government, whatever he believes it is. Sarah Israel, I'm sure, would say it's the satanic AI power there. But I want to look at this. I want to know, is the vaccine behind this senseless murder? And yeah, are we going to see more of this? And that is the prediction. It does seem like we are seeing more and more senseless violence like this. And and according to Sarah Israel, it's just going to get worse and worse. So, anyways, let's take a look at this and find out. So I take the swords cards as injections. So we get a lot of swords in this. It's going to be vaccine induced, in my opinions, or not my opinion, but according to the cards. But yeah, this is a serious issue and it needs to be looked at. And of course, no one in the mainstream media is going to look at anything. You know that. Or, the scientists only look at what the globalists tell them to. It took them a long time to come out with that psychosis papers. They knew back in 2021 it was coming out. The Epic Times reported on it. They knew that right away. I mean, people were coming into the emergency rooms with psychotic breakdowns after the jabs. So yeah, they held back for as long as they could, and there's still things they're holding back. But anyhow, you just can't go by the news, especially the mainstream media. That's for sure. Oh, and look at this. Four of Swords reversed. Criminal activities. You can look at it as the DOD, now called the Department of War. Anyways, they're behind the countermeasures here, at least major part of it. Anyhow, let's take a look here. Are the COVID vaccines, are they behind all these murders? Let's look at this particular latest murder, senseless attack and murder of a girl, the Ukrainian girl on the bus. Was the vaccine behind it? Because the perpetrator seems honestly confused. He's like, why would I do that? I don't know why I did that. Yeah, and there's just too many of these incidents happening all over. But the mainstream media always plays up violence as well because they want you to feel like you're in danger all the time. So you run to the daddy government for protection, right? So it's kind of a like hard to you know guesstimate, but when it comes to the wrong race killings, that's when they have nothing to say, you know. Anyways, the mainstream media does generally like to put up violence if the race quota is correct from their perspective. Anyhow, let's take here. It's really sick, twisted. I mean, this is so insane. I mean, anybody would be driven insane by these Marxist, communist, globalist, DEI, BlackRock, Vanguard, Satanists, what they're doing. I really want to know is this the satanic now? Like I said, Sarah Israel said the AI is a demon. It's basically a demonic enemy of God. It's in the Bible. She points out where it talks about it actually mentions AI, and so that's what she's blaming for this increased violence. That the graphene and the injections are actually to connect people to there's as a Karen Kingston spoke about quantum dots as well in the injections, and the quantum dots are to connect. She said are to connect people to the the other realms, other dimensions, i.e., demons. So that was like her theory. She was coming out with very early on. She was talking about from the reading the patents that she read. This is known. So yeah, it could be demonic energy. So that's what I want to figure out. What is going on here? What's causing all this particular, let's focus on this particular violent incident. Was this a violent incident, this stabbing of Ariana? Was this, or Irana? Was this demonic, or was it psychosis from a jab, or just that he's a garden variety mentally ill person? Let's find out. Was it this inspired by demonic possession? Was he possessed, basically? The killer. So I'm going to focus on the killer, why he did it. So looking at him, focusing on him with the reading will give us the answer of what was his mindset really. Is he really crazy? Is he faking it? Is he demonically possessed? Or is he just mentally ill? Let's focus on that. Why he did this. Why he murdered her. All right, let's see here. What was going on to the murderer's head there? See what the cards show. All right, general attitude. Oh my. Death reversed. Yeah. So it's confirming this is a murder. He did kill this woman. This particular death card, you kind of have this demonish looking kind of figure floating around there. And he's wearing horns on his head. It is reversed. So you can see it as an excess of, or sort of hidden aspect of it, possibly. And crossing it, we get the chariots. Hmm. Yeah, pushing death on a bus. I mean, they were on a moving vehicle. And he wanted, apparently, what I'm getting is he wanted to kill somebody on transportation here on the bus, or at least while he was sitting on the bus, he wanted it to. The urge to kill came over him, and I am getting two major arcanas, which tells me groups. Whenever I think major arcanas, I think group involvements, not a single decision of a single human being. So I'm kind of getting some vibes here of, possible hive mind type thing, or else just the influence of being jabbed up by the group led to this. The bottom of it all, I get the King of Wands. So I see that as a man getting a lot of publicity and attention. And maybe he was, I'm getting it upright. So maybe he was being honest about the reasons, what he was saying to his sister. And perhaps this becoming such a huge media story, and the reason why the globalist mainstream media didn't want to talk about this is they don't want this getting out, that it is getting worse, and it is probably because of the vaccine, and they don't want people going in that direction with it as well. So the base of it all, oh my goodness, 10 of Swords reversed. So already I'm getting my first Swords card to getting the snake bites here. Injection multiple. And I think that, yeah, so already I'm getting at the base of it all. It's multiple injections here. It's people. Now, if he had mental health problems, he probably has been treated. And if he was treated in the past 4 or 5 years, they wouldn't let you in a hospital and you couldn't get treatment unless you got the jibby jabs. So he probably has multiple jabs. So already at the basis of this, I'm getting group efforts, multiple jabs, and of course, this is a card of death and stabbing people to death. Again, so the literal death card, and I'm getting somebody being stabbed to death. I do get it reversed, so it's sort of putting it on display there on camera for the world to see. Yeah. What triggered him to attack this girl? Magician reversed. So, magician, interesting, another major arcana. And this is putting your force out there, using your own, getting things done yourself. and um, having control over the power of your mind as well. So I would take this as reversed, being possibly his mind being taken over by the group major arcana, that motivated, because you notice he has his brain lit up and there's a light. You could look at that as his hive mind connection to the AI or the Internet of Bodies or whatever it may connect to, or just the influence with the other side, demonic side, leading reverse, leading him to be destructive, just and appearing to do it on his own. But in reality, major arcana, major arcana, major arcana, he was not. I don't feel that he made this decision on his own. I think he was influenced by something else. And now, whether that was just regular old possession or mental illness or something demonic. Oh, I already said that, right? So, just mental illness or something demonic would be whatever it is, it was out of his control. So, this was not someone who had control of himself making a decision, getting outside. So, what was he expecting at the time from murdering her? Three of Wands. Hmm. Watching, waiting, getting attention, watching something go. I kind of see this right now as the boat moving away from him and dark clouds in the sky. So I kind of see this as perhaps he felt like he was in a movie and or just not the real place and he's watching. He just did it and kept moving, right? And I think he felt like he was obviously altered state, but felt like he was moving away from something that he felt that he needed to get away from, he needed to kill and get away from. And as soon as he did it, he got up, did it, and I think walked off the bus, right? So it seemed like in his mind, whatever he thought, whatever made him think he had to kill this woman on the bus, um, and he wanted to get away, because I guess for whatever reason, whatever he was thinking at the time, he needed to kill and get away. What was he afraid of or not want? Oh, look at that sun. Interesting. So I don't think, obviously, that he wants the attention for this. He doesn't want to be known. He didn't want to be talked about in the mainstream media. And yeah, wow. Yeah, didn't want to be known for this. Wasn't trying to become famous, in other words. Uh, what was he hoping for? So that's what he did not want. What's he hoping for? Look at that, Ace of Swords. The truth. And also, this is just can be seen as putting out another major jibby jab card. Like I said, I see swords in this. I'm thinking it's the jibby jabs. And this is like yes, a major yes card. And also, perhaps on some level, he wants the truth to come out about the jabs and the effect on him in uh on some level. Maybe he's trapped in his. I mean, you never know. He could be trapped in his body, and he's like wants to warn people, like, "Hey, why did I do this? I don't know why I did this. Maybe you should look into it and look into these jibby jabs." Doing it, and like I said, scientific articles are out. I mean, how can we have scientific articles out from PubMed, from an other, scientific top scientific journals saying, yeah, COVID-19 shots, yeah, they cause psychosis, but they don't take them off the market. They're still giving them to newborns. They're still pushing them. So I mean, we got a big problem here. This is happening at the same time. Uh, shows a lot of evil intention. But so here we go. How did he see this Ariana girl? So he could be trying on some level, if he's trapped in his body uh, by something, he could be trying to get attention on some level to warn people, like, hey, yeah, expect a lot more of this. How did he see her? Queen of Cups reversed. Didn't think very highly of her. Obviously saw her as something he hated, a young woman coming home from her job at, I believe, a fast food restaurant, cups, food. Yeah, in the state that he was in, which I believe was high, possibly hive controlled or out of his control somehow. He saw her as the danger, as what needed to go, what needed to be killed. So what did he do afterwards? What happened afterwards? Knight of Swords reversed. Wow, that is the murderer card. And I'm getting another sword, which again repeats the injection. And of course, afterward, he realized, he's a murderer. He is, from this point forward, known as a murderer, killing this poor girl. So yeah, so getting murder, death, poor young woman. Truth coming out here about it. So in the long term, we can expect, oh yeah, 3 of Cups. So we do have people paying attention, being emotional, people coming together about this, and getting emotional about this leading up to other triggering topics as well, race and the media and the DEI and the collusion leading, also inflaming everything, sort of distracting as well from the real cause of this incident, which I believe is the jibby jab. I do think the jabs are behind this. Causing this, leading into this. Now, he could have had mental health problems before the jibby jabs, but the jibby jabs made it worse, obviously. And he's now officially a murderer and will continue to do so. And he may have harmed someone else even after this. I think that he may have gone on to, because this is after the attack, he may have harmed someone else, like stabbed someone else or did something to someone else afterwards. I don't know. But it looks like it probably wasn't his first attack. But anyways, there you have it. Swords. Yeah. I didn't get any coins. I got 2 cups because this is a very emotional thing. It's a beautiful young woman. People are very emotionally moved by this. I got 1 wand. This getting attention on this. Look, he could have been saying, Sue, look at this. Watch what I did. So he may, on some level, been under his control, but doing this for the world to watch here. This man is watching, so maybe he's the ship doing this action, this murder, this death that he caused on the bus. And he wanted to make sure that people saw this and reacted, and for one reason or another wanted people to see this gruesome murder. Yeah. Yes, and I also get that repeated here with looking for attention, media attention here. And remember, this story was not going to be covered at first by the mainstream media, but then it did. So that's why, on the one hand, I think he did want to do something to get people's attention, but he didn't want the mainstream media on it. But he got it anyways. But they're still supportive of him, or sympathetic to him, I should say. The mainstream media is. But there you have it. I think this was caused by the jibby jabs. I think he wanted to kill. But I also think that he was not under his own control. I think that either mental illness or from the jibby jabs, possibly even nanotech from the jibby jabs. Very well have been involved. Can't really say whether it was. I know it's the jabs. I'm getting yes, swords, swords, swords. I'm getting jabs, yes. But is it nanotechnology or is it demons coming through the nanotechnology? That I'm not clear on. So I'm going to ask that question. Yes, no is difficult. I'll just ask and see what I get. Is it demons coming through the nanotech, or is it just the nanotech or whatever is in the vaccine, whatever you want to believe, causing this? Like, I get justice. That could indicate 50-50 balance. It's partially because they're connected to the internet some way, and or because of demonic influences. This is the Seven of Cups, internet card, internet of bodies card, pressing on people here. Queen of Swords reversed. Lies, criminality, causing people to get angry and violent with knives. Is there an evil, demonic aspect? I mean, you could say there's evil about all of this. I mean, it's a murder, so it's obviously evil. Again, Four of Swords reversed. Criminality, attacks, causing more violence. Eight of Swords, being trapped in this, being trapped by it, not being able to escape it. Swords, swords, swords again. Gosh. I know it's the shots. But is it also demons coming through the shots? It's definitely the shots for sure. Let's see. Let's find out here. All right. Two of Pentacles reversed, out of control. Four of Pentacles reversed. Five of Pentacles. They are in a church here, but it's health matters, losing your health. And I'm kind of also getting the idea of 50-50, and I get the rainbow flag there for the globalist rainbow flag. I'm going to go 50-50. It's part just the nanotech or whatever is in the shots, but it's also demonic influence. 50-50 I'm going to go with. Like twice I got a 50-50 card. Yeah, and I can also see this as like a 50-50. He's got two coins there. Sort of half and half. Yeah. I guess as a mental health kind of card. But yes, 50-50 I'm going to go with, causing this violence. Oh, there you have it. So I hope you found this interesting. If so, please like and subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.